Kevin Durant saga.
Seems to be ever-changing right now.
Ever-changing every year, seemingly, because at this point in his career, it seems like Kevin Durant is determined to get that rainbow jersey combination,
Right.
the Shaq late 2000s meme that we've seen.
Right.
So, yes, Miami, the Spurs, and the Rockets are Kevin Durant's preferred landing spots, as we've already seen a trade. So when a trade could happen any minute, it could be already happening, as we tape this.
Yeah.
But out of those three destinations, two Texas teams. So a chance to return to the Lone Star State for Kevin Durant. We look at the Rockets. We see a young, aspiring team that's ready to take that next step. We also see the same thing in the Spurs, although their season last year was derailed by injuries. And then Miami, they'll throw out the same Tyler Hero trade package that they always do every offseason. And we'll see if that goes any better for Pat Riley. But what do you guys make of the top three landing spots?
I mean, to me, because the Rockets are because I always, we've talked about this, I watch the NBA very casually and through Lone Star State lenses. And so the Rockets would appeal to me in that because they're close. Defense was kind of their bread and butter. Now bring in a guy who goes, 27, 6, and 4 when he falls out of bed. When he's in his I mean, he's about to turn 37, KD. I saw something. This was, and I hope I get the stat right, but averaging 25 points a game, shooting 50% or better from the field, 40% or better from three. He's done that the last 3 seasons. That's the longest streak anyone's ever done that. He's in his mid-30s.
On a waste
so much
of
for
space,
getting older.
Right. On a waste of space Phoenix Suns team, though, mind you. Because these last 3 years have also been probably the most disappointing of his career, if you really think about it. When we think about where
this team performances,
where the Suns are, because, I mean, this year, they were quick out. The previous year, swept by Anthony Edwards. And then before that, I mean, him and Devin Booker had a great, 50-point combined game against Denver Nuggets, but that was it. That's the highlight of his Suns' tenure.
But the long-winded statistical point that I'm making is he's a walking bucket. Yes. Even at 36, about to be 37 in September, and he's going to stay that way. It's like he is that guy. Thank goodness he played a full year, I guess, in 2024. And when he was healthy, I guess that's the only thing, because we had this kind of talk with AD and that deal. It's like whenever you see 15-time All-Star next to somebody, it's like, all right, how much more are we getting?
Yeah, that means he has to have been in the league for 15 years.
But there are ways to massage that load management. As far as but if you got this defensive team like the Rockets have, and then you just bring in a guy who just fills it up, maybe that is a good match.
I think at this point in his career, even though, as we've said, it doesn't seem like that. It really does seem like with him, age is just a number, at least right now. But you're not old until you're old, and you never at this point you don't know when it's going to happen. It does seem like the Rockets would be a better fit of the two. I mean, as intriguing as the Spurs are right now, obviously with Wemby and the number 2 draft pick that's coming up and everything that they have going, it's pretty obvious that the Rockets are much closer right now than the Spurs are, and I don't know if KD would be as interested in taking on a kind of a reclamation project, more of a reclamation project than obviously the Rockets are now.
And I don't know if it's just public knowledge, but to me I wonder if a healthy Pop, would have made a big deal, because I know how much KD and Pop mutually respect each other and admire each other, and maybe that is a difference maker. Now the Spurs don't look quite as attractive as they would have before.
Now, what do you think this says about KD narrowing it down to these choices? Now, I've heard that tax incentives certainly were a big part of the decision there. But aside from that, when I just think about these 3 teams as a whole, if I'm Kevin Durant, what does this say about my mindset going into next year?
Well, the one thing that I'd say, I mean, if I'm the Suns, I know traditionally, of course, obviously the Mavericks did it with Luka to the Lakers, but I don't think traditionally teams, tend to, you don't necessarily want to trade a guy within your own league, like in baseball or within your own conference in basketball. So that would, from a Phoenix perspective, maybe the Heat would be the best choice.
Well, yeah.
Because you wouldn't have to see them until the final.
But you would also want to get the best trade package imaginable, I imagine. And for me, that comes out of San Antonio, because San Antonio, they could offer you the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft, which is supposed to be a pretty good draft by all indications, better at least than the last few years collectively. You can also throw in a couple of nice young pieces like a Sochan, a Vassell, maybe a Stephon Castle, and maybe that's where this comes to me as I'm not sure if I can make that deal for KD if I'm the Spurs, because I don't
at his
see
age, probably not.
I don't see a scenario in which the Spurs get out of this without Stephon Castle being part of the deal, and I'd rather invest in him and see where he can go as a prospect than, like you said, a 36-year-old Kevin Durant who's going to be owed a lot of money. And when I add Kevin Durant to my team as the Spurs, what do I want him to be? Is he just going to be a glorified catch-and-shoot guy? Which, I mean, it's crazy to say that, but that might be exactly what he turns into on this current roster construction.
Well, I would say he's also going to give you boards. He's also going to find the open guy. I mean, again, when you average 27 points, 6 boards, 4 assists a game, I mean, you're not just shooting. I mean,
but he has taken a step back defensively. Yeah,
and I think he was always a better defender than a lot of people gave him credit for.
How can you not be with that frame?
Right. But, yeah, I mean, so that's why I kind of like him more with the Rockets to begin with. It's like, because they need offense, right? But to your point, like when you're talking about keeping Steph Castle and all that, and I like him as well, but after a while, let's boil this down to fantasy sports talk, right? Like, sometimes you just have this, like, so many guys, and you need to upgrade, right? And Steph Castle, I mean, as you bring in that number 2, I mean, they're probably going to get the swing from Rutgers. His name's
Bailey.
Yeah,
Ace Bailey.
Yeah. So.
No, Harper.
Yeah.
Harper.
Yeah,
okay.
Harper.
So, that's another mouth to feed, and like, to me, I'd almost rather give a few B's and get that A, even if it's only for 2 or 3 years.
I'll tell you for what it's worth, but as we came out here to tape this, I was doing some reading up on it, and I saw one report that actually came out today, Monday afternoon, that Kevin had no interest in being traded to the Timberwolves, and I'd seen, and up until then, I had seen the Timberwolves as being kind of near the top, and that kind of surprises me. I think the Timberwolves have a lot going right now. I mean, they're a Final Four team in each of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're looking to be maybe that final piece, that's, I don't know how he feels about playing second fiddle to Anthony Edwards, but
But
trying to be that final piece that gets them over the hump, and it gets you to another championship. I mean, that would make a lot of sense to me.
Because you look at these 3 teams and you don't think to yourselves, oh man, Kevin Durant on this team, they're immediately a championship contender. Do you?
I don't. See, I see a guy who, when healthy, he's still highly productive. Like, I'm not seeing a guy. But that said, it's not like you sign him to a 1 year, like you're signing him to a 3-year deal. He's going to be 40 pretty much in that final year. So yeah, I mean, we've had these conversations with, when's Tom Brady going to fall off the cliff? When is, like, and some guys, they take a long time before they fall off that cliff.
I think for elite shooters, they could keep it going for a lot longer. Like Steph Curry, I feel very confident Steph Curry is going to age well into his 40s.
I was thinking about that too, in that, yeah, KD, it's not that he's been getting by on his freakish athleticism. The dude's a scorer, It wasn't because, like...
And it's still effortless for him, just like it was in college and everything.
So there are other pros. Russell Westbrook is kind of the opposite, right? Just freakishly athletic, and he could get by. But when it dropped because he was getting by on his athleticism first and foremost, right? That's what led to so many of those. I mean, when he's averaging triple doubles or whatever, he's a freak. He was more athletic than everybody. KD, he can go for a while, I think, just the way his game is. For the day ones, the diehards, the first-timers, the old-timers, it's not just stats and wins and losses, it's the moments, the shots you can't believe went in, the times you can't do anything but believe. And it's all streaming right here on your connected TV anytime on Fox Global.